Welcome back, everybody. In the last episode, we rescued the dairy longhorn in White Valley, and we also cleared out some of the roadblocks, built the bridges, I guess is what it was. In this episode, we're going to do the Airdrome logging contract, and this will be the last logging contract in the Alaska region. So we moved back to Northport to pick up the P16, and first thing I'm going to do is run down to the trailer store and sell off this log trailer, and then we'll move to White Valley and put the top engine in this truck and get started. We have 2 long logs and 2 medium logs to haul to the sawmill. Let's go. So the trailer store is just right down the hill from the Northport sawmill here. Shouldn't take me too long to get there. And then I'm just going to recover to the garage and move over to the White Valley garage. It's been a little while since I've gotten to drive the P16. I miss it again already. It's one of my favorite trucks. Now that we got the top engine, I'm looking forward to seeing how it performs on that muddy back road. Should be interesting. I've also been thinking about it, and I usually run the P16 with the advanced special gearbox, but it is higher geared than the standard special, and I want to experiment and see how well it does with just the stock gearbox being only 4-speed versus 5, because this thing worked pretty good with the engine that we have in it, and I'm kind of excited to see how well it does with the top engine and this same special gearbox. So we'll purchase the M900. We're going to leave the special. Everything else will be the same, and let's move over to White Valley. We'll take this out, but before we do, let's put the medium log carrier on the big cat. We're going to use the big cat for the medium logs. So these are the 2 trucks. We'll start with the long logs. Let's grab ourselves a long log trailer to get started. I think I'm just gonna turn around here so I can take the back road out. That way I don't have to drive on the ice. Now that we have that trailer, let's get going. We'll go right through the fence here, just like we did yesterday with the dairy longhorn. This makes easy work of this stuff. Put it in high and see how well it holds the RPMs. Should be pretty good. I'm gonna actually haul both loads of the long and the medium instead of using a trailer to like stock carry them over there. I'm gonna actually make the trip twice on both trucks. The big cat shouldn't have any issue running down that back road with those giant mud tires, and I'm pretty sure this won't either. I've done it before with this many times, but I haven't done it with the advanced or the regular special gearbox, so this will be something new for me. I always just immediately go straight to the advanced special thinking that it's better in every situation, but it's not always better in every situation. I'll just pull in through the trees here so I don't have to make a turn around there. There is a log I just hit sticking up, stump. See if we can plow through here in high. It's doing pretty good. I'll get loaded. I'll probably just load without stopping so I don't have to lose my momentum. And then I'll turn off and go through the trees over here. Go right through the snow, so I don't have to make that sharp turn. If I followed the road there, I have to take a sharp right turn. I'd rather just go this way. Plow right through there. No problem at all. Only section of this road that's really bad is the one coming up right ahead that's like all thick, nasty mud. But other than that, we should be good. Oh, I ran into that stump. Here we go. Getting closer. And here it is. Smushed right down into it. I'm gonna try low, see if it just crawls. Have to wiggle my front tires to get it to move. After we make a first trip, the second trip's gonna be even stickier, so I'm gonna probably have to winch myself now. I'll just hook up to that tree up there. That really wasn't much of an issue. And then I will connect from the front up to the pole. Making some headway now. I think I should be able to take it from here without a winch. I had to put it in low because I stopped moving. My tires were just spinning. But it's moving again. There we go. We made it through that. Let's just keep trucking now. It's not too far up the road. Cruise around that pole. Watch out for that stump on the ground. Now we're reaching the Y in the road. We'll make sure to stay to the left on that turn. So the left sign says gas. We're going that way. Fit right between that tree and that pole, just barely. It helps to have the wide rear axles like this. I mean, they really make it more stable, because I've taken a lot of different trucks through here, and most of the medium-sized trucks, they get pretty wobbly. This one's doing good. Made it through all of that stuff. Now we've got a couple of mud holes coming up. This one right here can get a little tipsy. We seem to be doing just fine in here though. Now we've reached the tree. I'm going to drive straight in the middle between the two roads. If I can get my truck to turn, and just go right over the end of the tree. Push it down. Should be okay there. Yep, no problem. And then I'm gonna turn left. It's hard to turn with this thing right now. I'm gonna turn left and go through the snow and come into the sawmill from the backside. Then I don't have to try to turn around in there. I see we have a fleet star sitting in there. That's okay. Drop off the first one, and then we'll head back out of here and go back to the logging station. We've burned 100 liters of fuel out of the 300 liter tank, so 1/3. We should be good. There isn't anywhere on our trip that we can refuel. We could take a detour over to the gas station, but that's quite a bit out of the way, so I'd rather not. Going through here, I'll drive over the front of this tree again. End of it, I should say. The end of the trees are usually safe to drive over. It's the thicker parts down towards the stump of them that usually that's the part that'll hang you up. Oh, it's getting tore up in here pretty good. The next trip's gonna be a lot harder, I think. It's really getting tore up through here. Driving empty and I'm still having a hard time getting through this mud. We'll just keep on straight where the sign says airfield there. And you can see how deep those ruts are. Really tearing it up. So I've kind of just now was thinking, and it's like, I can make this trip again after I know it's already tore up. And I'm probably gonna burn almost all my fuel struggling through here. I think what I'll do is go back, once I get loaded, I'll go back to the garage and grab the cat, and then we'll use the cat to pull this back down the road and do them both in one shot. That will help to get through here a little quicker so I'm not burning all of my fuel. Because by the time I get reloaded, I'm gonna be down to half a tank. I'm gonna try to stay to the left over here, put it in low, let it crawl through there. It stopped moving, so time to grab a winch, and I'll just pull myself right up out of here. I do think that I like the special gearbox with the top engine. It seems to be a good combination so far. Didn't have any issues of powering out on the way here. And then instead of taking the snow back in, I'm gonna follow this road around, and I'll turn off right here, and I'll go up the snowbank right in the middle. A little more traction on the snow than the mud. Although these bushes, they do screw you up. So we'll get loaded, and then I'll jump back to the garage and grab the big cat. We'll cruise that over here, and we'll use that to pull this truck. Main thing is, I don't want to run out of fuel at the by the time I get to the sawmill, because I still want to haul this trailer out to resell it afterwards. I'm loaded up. Let's go to the garage. There it is. We'll just back out and take the left turn here again. This thing is a heck of a good log hauler. Got the top engine in this also, and I put on the tires that had the maximum mud grip. The P16 tires are 3.5 in mud, and these are 3.2, so both sets of tires are excellent. It only requires a 2.0 to be considered excellent in the garage. Like in the top there, when you're in the garage where it says if your tires are good, the 2.0 is the threshold to make them excellent. So anything above 2.0, you're not going to know the difference between them just based off of that alone. But if you look in the game code, you will find out what the actual difference is of the tires. This thing is hauling through there pretty good and high. Way better than the P16, so shouldn't have any issue at all. We'll get loaded up here. Oh shoot, there's no medium logs here. What was I thinking? They have to come from the other site. Alright, well I guess we're just gonna pull it without logs, and then we'll go get them from the other site. Sometimes I forget about that. I was thinking I could get medium logs here as well. Either way, we'll still get the job done. The other log site is where we flipped the fleet star on the last episode there when I did a face plant. That's where we'll have to go with the big cat. But I know a shortcut, so it shouldn't take too long. Get the P16 fired up so it helps through here. Now we can see how well it does pulling the P16 through this deep mud. So far it's doing all right. Nice thing about this cat is with the articulated steering, when you start getting bogged down in the mud, you can just wiggle it back and forth. Helps it to crawl through a little better. For some reason the P16 is not wanting to drive. I'll just hold the winch button down. Now we're getting through there. No problem. Crawled right through there. Shouldn't have any issues from here. Let's keep cruising up the road. I'm gonna put it in high and see how well that does. Seems to be working pretty good. Making decent progress now. Although I'm burning quite a bit of fuel. I've already burned 80 liters. The big cat doesn't do the best unless you're in lock, differential lock in low gear. If this thing had all-time diff lock, it would be probably a cheat truck, but it kind of forces you to slow down because There's not a lot of suspension travel on it, and when you don't have a lot of suspension travel, you end up, your tires slip more because they don't all touch the ground when you go over uneven surfaces, and that's what forces you to lock in your diff lock. Still doing pretty good back there. I just want to make sure I don't get the trailer hung up on any of these poles or trees. Now we've reached one of the mud holes. Go through this without any issue, hopefully, and it's doing okay. Coming up on the next mud hole, and this one here is kind of deep. I'm gonna go right through the middle of it because you try to go around the side, it tends to make the trucks want to tip over. Now we've reached the big tree. Once again, I'll just drive right through the middle between the two roads so I can go over the end of the tree, and I'm not having any issues with it. It's working out good. I'll turn in and go back through the snow just like last time, right around the corner into the sawmill. Somebody parked a Fleet Star right in the way. I'm gonna get this moved out of the way. Just pull it up here by these garbage dumpsters. The ground is a little more solid here, so I can leave it here. Now I can pull this in, and then I'll jump in the P16 and get this delivered. We burned a lot less fuel that time coming over here. I think it would have been worse if I had tried to drive the entire way. So what I'm gonna do is drop this trailer. Just kind of came up with this idea right now, so I'm gonna drop that trailer so I can leave the truck here. I'll jump back into the cat, and I'm gonna use the cat winch to pull that trailer with me so I can get it back out to the road, and that way I can use any well, I think I can use any truck. I might have to use a truck that has the log carrier add-on to even connect to this, but either way I should be able to sell it at a trailer store. If you go around the back side of the sawmill here, you can go through the trees right here, drive right through the trees here. If you see these stumps on the ground to my left, then you know you're in the right spot. And I'll turn right here. Got to get positioned a little bit better. There we go. I'll turn right here, and you can come out into the clearing, and then we're right down by the riverbed that we were on, that we used the Fleet Star. We drove up the riverbed on the last episode, down here by the bridge. Come out by the riverbed, and then it's just a quick trip right up to the road. It's very short, so you can cross the river and get up on the other side if you want, or you can go down the river. I have mud tires, and they don't do very well on them icy rocks, so I'm gonna go up the other side and take the snow. Pretty easy though, especially with this thing. And then once I get out here, I'll disconnect the trailer out here by the road. We can use a different truck later on to sell it. Follow the hill, and then I'll pull right in back up here on the road. I'm gonna make sure that I don't drop this trailer where it's gonna be in the way. So I'll go around to the right, and I'll just pull it up here out of the way, drop it. Now I can back up and take that back road over to the logging station. Getting low on fuel, but there's a scout fuel trailer over here that we can get fueled up with. Should be able to cruise over there without any real issues. It's got a decent horn, this truck. I'll take a right here at the pavement and just cruise up the ice road. Being careful, of course. These tires are really bad on this icy road. I'm just kind of driving on the side of the road so I can keep traction in the snow a little bit. That helps. We'll cruise over here and get loaded, and then we're going to take the back way out of here, same way we did with the Fleet Star when we were building the long bridge. That'll let us drive right past the scout fuel carrier so we can get refueled over there. So I just cruised through there and loaded, didn't even stop. Momentum is a big thing in this game, so keeping the momentum up is usually beneficial. Go through the trees just like last time, and then follow along the side of the wall here. We're gonna have to haul all those big trailers out soon. If you remember, there's that scout fuel carrier that we discovered on the last episode, so let's get loaded up with some fuel. It's already a third empty. That's good though. A lot of the fuel tanks on this map don't even get used, and that rig looks cool over there. Those big icebergs sticking out of the water like that, that's pretty neat. I'm not gonna try to stay close to the wall this time because it's pretty small up there, and then it's a sharp drop down here. I don't want to tip over. We'll come out the back side, right between the trees, right by this service hub, back on the road, and now it's a straight shot down the road back to the main highway by the bridge. I'm gonna stay on the right this time, keep it on the muddy road here. I'm gonna go around the right side of this trailer so I have a straight shot down the hill. There it is. Then I'm just gonna follow my tracks. Since I just came back this way, I already have a trail here. I'm getting a lot of work done in Alaska. This region is going a lot faster than Michigan did. Should be able to wrap it up in a few more episodes, and then we'll head into Russia for the first time and go to Taimyr, get started there. That should be exciting. It'll be a new level of difficulty for us, for sure. And Tamir is a pretty big region, so there definitely will be more content in that region than there was here in Alaska. We'll just go right back through the trees the same way I came out the first time. Hang a sharp left by them stumps. Don't try to go straight through there because that tree is hiding that stump down there on the right. Cruise over and drop this off. All right, here we go. I will turn and burn and go right back and do the same thing. I think actually, since I'm here, I'm gonna put some fuel in both of these trucks so they're not so low. We're gonna head back over there anyways. We can get fueled up again off that Scout fuel trailer. Make sure the Fleet Star is topped off. Fleet Star is at about half a tank. Top that one off. Oof, the P16 is real low. Might have to take some of the fuel back out of the Fleet Star. I'm at about half a tank now. I think that'll be good enough to get me back. This thing does burn quite a bit of fuel, but both of those trucks are better than they were before we got here. So in the end, I think it'll work out. It'll be better. Just cruise back around and go back into the trees again. We got a nice trail through here now, so it's easy to find. Just lock it in, drive straight into here. Watch out for them stumps on the left. Take a right, pass through, and follow our trail around the flat spot. Go between these trees, back down to the riverbed. Easy. With this truck, it really is easy. Cross the river and back up the other side. And then we'll take the snowy topped hill all the way back to the bridge. We'll go across the road, past the trailer, and head straight back to the logging station. It's not so bad when you can take that shortcut. It really cuts down on the time a lot. And we don't have the pipeline rebuilt yet. The fallen pipeline that we saw when we were unlocking the watchtowers. We took the Chevy over there. We saw that fallen pipeline. That would be the back way to get there. We could go down the riverbed like we did with the Fleet Star when we picked up the bricks, but that's a lot of uneven ground and it's a long trip that way too. So just driving straight across the river and through the trees is definitely the shortest route by far. Entering the logging station, I'm gonna cruise through here and get loaded without stopping, and then I'll head over to that Scout fuel trailer again. We can reload off of that, refuel. This thing doesn't have any issue putting it in high and just letting it crawl through here. Get topped off. Down to 385 out of 900. So we've already used quite a bit of fuel out of that tanker. But that's all right. Like I said, a lot of them tankers, they just sit there full. They don't get used. So I like to use them up. That's what they're there for. We don't have very many trips that come through here anyway. So after this, really don't have any need for that fuel. Right around the backside. Now that we're back to the road again, we'll just put it in high and then back to auto, get some speed going, cruise up the road. We'll be there shortly. Big cat trucking its way through here without any issues. Gonna go around the side of this sideboard trailer again, then right down the hill, and then we'll just follow our trail around again. Up over the top. Got a pretty good trail here now. If it's uneven, I just leave it in diff lock and low plus. We'll cross the river, being careful on these big stones, of course. Might actually have to back up because those ones went right between my tires. It's better if you can actually drive over them with your tires than trying to go between them. And then we'll follow the hillside back up between the trees so we can get to the clearing, and then follow our road right into the trees. Didn't quite make that corner sharp enough. There we go. Right in the trees and then a sharp left again. And we're back. No problem. We'll get this one dropped off and that'll be it for the Airdrome logging contract. And we got promoted to rank 27. $18,200, 188,220 total in our profile. We did it. On the next episode, we'll get started on the contracts in the White Valley map here. It's going to be pretty awesome. We'll get a bunch of them knocked out, just like we have on all the other contract runs. Hopefully we'll see you there. It'll be a good one. Thanks for watching.